I'm Lane Houk, your host today for the Marketing Center of Excellence. This is our October Masterclass. It's hard to believe that we're rounding out October and heading into the November-December holiday season, which will put a cap to this year in 2023. Prior to me hitting the record button, we were just asking for our audience just some input on our content calendar for 2024. So if you happen to listen to this on the replay or watch it on the replay, I would personally appreciate any input that you can give me and our team at the Marketing Center of Excellence some input on topical ideas for 2024. We are starting to plan out our topical masterclass calendar for 2024. I've already gotten some great ideas from a few people who are here live, so really appreciate those ideas, and any other input that we can get from our agency audience would be much appreciated. We definitely want to serve you and provide training and experts in the industry who can answer the burning questions and equip you to build the agency of your dreams. Today, we're going to start a conversation, and then we'll finish it next month in November. So it'll be a two-part session. And today's going to be a little bit of just an intro about the agency technology stack. To build and then really ultimately scale an agency, there are some essential building block components of your technology stack that are going to be essential. The technology stack will differ depending on whether your model is going to be to insource all of your fulfillment or if you're going to outsource your fulfillment, because obviously there's going to be a set of technologies or systems that you'll need in your agency if you're going to insource versus if you have an outsourced partner who already has all that in place, then you won't need that. So the technology stack will be a little bit tighter, smaller in the outsource model. If you're in the in-source model, then you're going to definitely have to add on some additional components to your technology stack in order to really successfully scale. We're going to talk about this and address it in two sessions because, first of all, I want to get your feedback today for those of you who are here and talk a little bit about it. Secondly, is because it's a huge topic. So I'm going to bring up, while I'm talking here, I'm going to bring up one of the main slides that you've probably have seen before, but we also often will call this the marketing technology stack. And so you might hear Martech as an additional way of hearing about it, but the marketing technology landscape, which is, I'm going to show you this kind of image here. It grows, it has grown every year that they've put this out. And this is just January of 2015. So 8 years ago, going on 9. And this was what it looked like back in 9 years ago in terms of the options that were out there for marketing technology. We can get into some of these major categories, but you've obviously got the advertising, the display and video ad softwares. You've got mobile marketing software. You've got search and social software, review software, email marketing software, social media marketing software, SEO software, customer experience software, testing and optimization software. Obviously, you've got the content marketing research software. Then you got, this is all just marketing experience. And you got the marketing operations types of software. Then you've got the data management platforms and web dev platforms, web hosting platforms, cloud and SaaS platforms. So this was just back in 2015. So let's go to marketing technology landscape 2023. Now look at it. It's grown so much over the 9 years that the icons have gotten to the point where you can't even see them anymore. If we go back and look at this, we could actually fit the icons and you could actually read the names in here. Now it's so complex, and there's so many, there's tens of thousands of them that we can't even really fit them all into one sheet. So this is the landscape that is presented to the agency owner. And if you're a newer agency owner, I don't even qualify because it's just as confusing for agencies who are 5 to 10 years into it as it is for the newer one. I would say it's probably more confusing for a newer agency to try and figure this landscape out and go, all right, what do I need? What do I not need? Because you can obviously start to spend a lot of money if you start to subscribe for this and then for that and this for this, and then you're trying all these things out. You're buying software, maybe on lifetime deals. You've got the AppSumo emails. You get all the other different types of emails out there pitching this product and that service and this new software and this new ad thing and this new social thing, and you can easily spend 5 years or more just trying software And really, that alone can slow your momentum down and stagnate growth. And I've seen agencies literally get sucked into it. I had to dig myself out of it because I did get sucked into it and I didn't know any better. I was, for the first few years, I was trying everything out. I was just trying to figure it all out. And then there was a good part of that that was just pure discovery, but it did take time, and it took time away from sales. And so I know that every agency that I've ever talked to, all of you today here would probably put a 1 in chat if I were to ask you the question, how many of you want to grow your sales this year, right? How many of you want to scale your sales this year? How many of you want to make more money this year? It's always a yes, thumbs up for sure. But this can be the enemy of sales momentum and growth. And it was for me. And this dates back to 2010 to 2013, 2014, those first 4 years. This was obviously, I showed you 2015. So what it looked like in 2010, 2011, it was a lot smaller, but it really ballooned and grew quickly to 2015 when I woke up in 2015. This is my story. I had been in the agency business now for 5 years, and I had Basecamp for project management. I had Pipe Drive to help with front end sales. We were in Skype and Slack, I believe. I don't know about Slack yet, but it was definitely Skype for chat. I was trying multiple CRMs to try and figure out which one would actually work, because none of them I really liked. And I was also in that process, experimenting with the whole Zoho suite, which included CRM, but also included project management. That was a 2.5-year disaster of trying to implement Zoho across multiple components of this landscape in our agency, and it just did not work. It was clunky. And that was like 2 years of paying Zoho, trying to implement it, and just going, this is not going to work. What else? We were in HubSpot for social. I was in Rep Loop and Rep Kahuna for reputation management. And then we were using Moz back then for listings. And that was just obviously I had FreshBooks for billing, and I could go on, but I woke up one day and we had over 20 critical pieces of software that were in one way, shape, or another critical in our agency, and the bill was well north of $2,000 a month back then, which in today's dollars is about $5,000. And then we're not including the SEM Rush or all the different research software that we had to onboard and use as well. And so if I'm going to stop there and just say, for all of you who are live here, put a 1 in chat if any of this is resonating with you in terms of just the overall principle of the agency owner having to make these decisions and address this landscape and figure this whole technology stack thing out. Does this resonate with any of you? I don't want to. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, Richard said I didn't like Zoho that much. Yeah, this is really a big deal. And if you don't get this right, you'll spend years spinning your wheels, lots of money testing, and that takes time. And so I'm hoping to, in these 2-part series here, we'll start today and then we'll finish again in November, is to help narrow this down for our agency audience and make sense of it a little bit, answer some questions along the way, because I'm sure some of you may have questions. And if you do have questions, I'd love to get those live. So if you would put those in chat, if you have questions about this. But in order to run the agency, whether you're in the outsourced model or the in-source model, you're going to need a CRM. Now, I experimented for years, and in late 2018, finally settled on High Level. Decided to try it out after trying several other CRMs. And I'll say this unequivocally, High Level is the best out there for an agency. It is not perfect. They have, like any other software company, they have bugs, they have challenges, they're growing, but they are awesome. And I strongly recommend that you use High Level as your own agency CRM, because every agency needs its own CRM for prospecting, for booking with prospects, for pipeline management, for email marketing, for SMS communications with clients and or prospects. And not only is high level awesome in that respect for an agency, but then an agency can simply white label the entire technology stack. And from a CRM standpoint, that was one of the last things we implemented into our technology stack at our agency that we really needed. I believe every agency needs a project management software of one level or another, unless you have a white label partner. But even then, you probably need to, if you're going to scale your agency in sales, you need something to organize every campaign and the major things that need to be done with it if you're outsourcing. And if you're insourcing, then that project management system becomes one of the key systems in your agency. We could not live, we could not operate even one day in our agency without our project management system, and that's teamwork. I'll show you guys our technology stack and how we actually have it all set up here in November and the second session. So I'll unveil that and reveal how I'll give you some of the pieces that we have today, but I'll show you all next month in terms of the technology stack that we have and how it runs our agency. And then hopefully that gives you at least a blueprint for your own agency, because you can easily get lost in all this stuff. And there's a lot of it that just is not needed. There's a lot that you can just obviously do without. And there's some things that are critical that you can't. Project management is one, CRM is another. Those are the two main legs of the stool, if you will, that support our own agency. And then we have a software suite that gives us social media management, reputation management, directory listing management, and reporting all in one software suite that's also white labeled. In our case, we're a white label as in our agency, so we actually gray label that white label platform, if you will. And then we built Signal Genesis because we were an SEO agency first. That is the driver of our monthly recurring revenue, or MRR. And I would suggest that should be the main driver of every agency out there for your MRR, because it's the number one lead gen driver or lead driver for almost every business out in the world, especially in English speaking countries. So SEO should be a main solution that you offer and probably lead with in your agency, and it produces monthly recurring revenue for you. It also produces great MRR for your client, and so it's a win. And so you need a good SEO, a good stack of technology around SEO if you're going to provide that as a solution. PPC. And so again, I would say, make this point. A big piece of what's going to drive your marketing technology stack in your own agency is going to be the solutions that you decide you're going to offer. If you've already got that decided, great. If you're already along that way, great. But that is obviously the big driver of what technology you actually need in your agency, beyond some of the basic things like CRM and project management. Now, what we did is in 2015, we were in Basecamp, Skype, and Slack at that point, or at least experimenting with Slack. I didn't really like it. And then we were also for support. Now, so as you grow an agency, in the beginning, we didn't really need support desk, didn't really need a knowledge base or documentation for things. We were early in our genesis, but then once you get to 50 clients or so, you start to probably need a tech, maybe even earlier than that. You need a way for your clients to just send in a support request for whether it's hosting, because we were hosting websites, or for maintenance of their website, something to add or whatever. And it's nice to centralize all that into one funnel. Otherwise, it can get really chaotic if your clients are sending in support requests and you're giving them basically the pick of the litter in terms of the channel that they use to put in that request with you. Some send in a request via email, some send in a request via Skype, some send in a text message to you personally, some will try to call, and that won't work at scale. So we were trying out Zendesk and Freshdesk and Zoho Desk, and none of those were integrated and worked really well. And so a big piece of this puzzle with the technology landscape, and it's part of the genesis that our agency went through, was we had all these different pieces of technology, but almost none of them talked to each other. So they were all separate silos of technology, and there was no integration at all. And so it was a sign in here, sign in there, different process, different UI. None of them shared data or talked to each other. And it became a real bundled mess by 2015 for us. And in 2015, and I actually probably mid 2014, all the way through to about late 2017, 2018, I'd say the end of 2018 is when we finished the stack because we built a piece of it for ourselves, which is today's Signal Genesis. For SEO, we could not scale SEO, having to do all the manual things that SEO required. And so we built that piece of the stack for ourselves because it didn't exist in our opinion. And so we built that that leg of the stool. Project management, we went into teamwork. Teamwork consumed 3 or 4 different pieces of software into one. It replaced Basecamp for project management, also Zoho project management. It replaced our support desk need. So it replaced Zendesk, Freshdesk, because Teamwork has its own integrated desk. And then also it has its own integrated Teamwork chat. So we got rid of Skype and Slack. And so about 5 different pieces of software were consumed into one, and Teamwork can be essentially white labeled however you fit. And so today, still 9 years later, we're still running off of Teamwork for all of those pieces of software. And it all talks to each other. Desk is integrated with project management integrated with chat's integrated with desk, so they all work together into a holistic environment. And that makes training our new employees also a lot easier, right? A lot more efficient, because now they have less to learn, and we're in less pieces of software, and the pieces of software that we have, at least many of them, talk to each other, so they're integrated. So in 2018, we really completed the stack when we implemented high level, replaced many different pieces of software for us as well. A few examples of that: it replaced Calendly, it replaced Zoho email and CRM, it replaced ClickFunnels, it replaced Pipedrive, it replaced, I'm forgetting something here, call tracking software. So all of that we had. I had independent call tracking software just for our own call track to be able to provision call, or if you have CallRail or something else. I had ClickFunnels. I had Calendly for booking. We were also in a different CRM. What was it? I can't remember the name of it. Had tried so many, it was confusing. That handled our bookings that we were trying that, plus Calendly, because none of those were really working back. And again, they weren't integrated. And High Level just solved all of that. And so between High Level, Vendasta, and Teamwork, we replaced 21 different pieces of software into 3. I'm not shitting you. There were like 21 different pieces of software that were all out there being used, and I replaced them with 3 that today with Zapier largely can integrate and talk to each other as well. And then we built Signal Genesis as that 4th leg of the stool. Obviously, there's more than that in our technology stack today. We have SEMrush for research and reporting on some things, and auditing. A large part I've canceled and gotten rid of a lot of other things too, because we just didn't need them. And that can be, again, a distraction and an expense. And if you're the agency owner and you're part of sales, and you're having to then also deal with this, make these decisions, do this research, all this stuff will take you completely out of sales for every minute you spend in it. And so that's why I'm covering this, because I've seen people literally spend years, like myself, trying to figure this all out, and spend thousands and thousands of dollars trying to figure it out on how the opportunity cost that it takes in terms of time. All right, so I'm going to quick address some questions that we're getting here. So let's see here. Let me go up here. Mike says GHL has made my life so much simpler. Yeah, it's phenomenal. And if you don't have it, let me know. I'll give you our affiliate link so you can go get your own GHL account. And I also will actually do 2 setup sessions directly with you, one-on-one, as the agency owner, to help you set up your own agency account and figure it all out. Because if you try to figure GHL out on your own, that alone is a huge learning curve. It can be months and months to learn it. And because they're constantly adding new things and doing new things, it's a constant process. So Richard says, what do you know about Sweet Dash? I don't know much about it. What is it? You want to come on live? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this is something, again, as you might know, you mentioned AppSumo. It was a deal, a lifetime deal that I purchased, and I've had it for a while now, and we're just now breaking it and getting into it. It's something similar to High Level. It does a lot of things, but you have to build this thing out. And one one thing that I'm finding is the training is somewhat cumbersome to get, because with Go High Level, I think there's a little bit more stuff out there that we can get without having to pay for that training all the time. I'm feeling like that this is more of a nickel and dime, but I don't mind paying for the training. It's just it seems more I'm getting in and learning. The Go High Level seems to be where we probably are pushing. And I don't know if this is going to be something that I'm going to use or just put on the shelf because we have it now. But I didn't know if you knew anything about it.
I think I faintly have heard of it, but I did not really familiar with it. Again, this reinforces this, like, there's so many out there. And there's new ones popping up all the time. And that's what makes this really challenging. So here's a principle, not directed at Sweet Dash necessarily. It's just the principle that I've found to be true. I stay away from experimenting with new software unless it's something I'm really just doing to experiment. And I know I'm going to spend time experimenting, but as far as running our agency, it does not make it into our technology stack unless it's tried true and it's really going to add something of value and make us better or more efficient. Okay. At this point. And there's so many new things coming out that you can sit there and try and then go literally 6 months of your time and then go, shit, that didn't work. All right, back to the drawing board. And that's how years can go by, is just a couple of months here, 6 months there, trying this out, trying that out, and then realizing it's not going to work for whatever reason. And there's lots of different reasons why it potentially doesn't work. Just keep that as a principle, is be very cautious about trying anything new that comes across your radar that you've not heard of before. There's a few things that are out there that are very tried and true. And when it comes to some of these basic, most critical things like CRM, I would say, yeah, high level. It's just tried and true. It's not perfect, but neither is Sweet Dash, as you have starting to figure out. There's a huge community of agencies around high level. High level can be utilized with Zapier to connect into other and talk to other pieces of the stack. I think the question I would ask you, Richard, is what are you trying to accomplish with Sweet Dash or something else is it just CRM for your own agency, or is there something more?
Yeah, it was just trying to, now that Wendy's with me full time and it's just not me, I'm trying to put something together that gets us where we want to be and that we both can get into and find information. I've been running things from Drive and it worked as long as I was the only one in it. But when she's trying to find stuff for clients, it's very cumbersome for her. I had looked at different CRMs in the past. I just never found anything that I wanted to utilize. And then when this came available, and I've had it, like I said, for about a year and a half now, just never cracked it open. To your point, it takes time. And now that she's here, though, we have to do this in order to move forward as we're onboarding more clients. I need something that's going to be more robust and work. And what I'm finding, to your point, is the agencies and agency owners that I'm meeting and becoming friends with and getting to know, the high level the Go High Level seems to be the tool of choice. And so I'm thinking that now I don't know that I want to spend any time trying to figure this Sweet Dash out versus just bite the bullet, get the Go High Level and get in there and get it going, because as I'm talking to people, it's going to make sense if I need some help or something, me being able to help them and reciprocating that.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to give you guys my opinions on the software technology tools to use. It's just my opinion on this, but I will tell you my opinion comes from give or take 10 years of implementation, experimentation, execution, and then seeing and hearing other people and other agencies and the frustrations they've had with other things and the things that I know that just are really working well for us. And like I said, high level for CRM, teamwork for project management, support desk, and team chat. All three of those in one integrated software that all work together and talk together. I'll also tell you this. I have never experienced or seen a software platform that was excellent in both CRM and project management. They are two very different worlds from a software standpoint and huge beasts to tackle, each under itself. And I have not yet seen a tool, a CRM, have a really good project management and ticket desk tool or component to their software. And likewise, I've never seen a really good project management tool or resource be really good at CRM. Teamwork has CRM and it's awful. It's nothing, it doesn't even hold a candle to what High Level does. High Level does not do project management. You could make it do some things like project management, but it's not a project management software. With Sweet Dash, I just don't know. I haven't experimented with it, and that's why I would, caution you to, even you said yourself, experimenting with it and going down that road because you've got something that's just works. So I would recommend GHL, Teamwork for project management, Teamwork for ticket desk. If you don't need ticket desk now because you're not big enough yet, okay, it's there when you need it. And it's integrated and already there. And then Team Chat, whether it's two of you on a team, like you, Richard, you and Wendy, or whether you got a bigger team. I was never into Slack and didn't want to get into that's a whole software unto itself. Not everyone uses Slack, especially clients. Having Teamwork Chat is our own internal chat, and we only use it for our own internal team. We don't give access to chat to clients or to agencies. There's no need for that. That's just for our own internal communications, but everything is there. And it's all it's not Skype. I'm glad it's not Skype. It's a proprietary platform in our Teamwork account, so there's no one else that has access to it. All right. Reporting is a big issue. It's a big need. Now, it's a big need only if you're an in-source fulfillment model agency. You're doing your own fulfillment. If you're outsourcing, then your outsourced white label partner should have reporting set up for you, so you shouldn't have to worry about that piece of the stack. But if you're an in-source model, you're going to need a reporting software. We've used Vendasta for many years because Vendasta also has the social media management, basically a HubShout or any other kind of tool that replaces social media management. It's also got reputation management built in. It's also got listings management and listing integrations built in to replace like a Bright Local or a Moz. And then it's got a really good reporting software suite. Full transparency, I'm in the process of potentially moving all of our reporting and our listing components as a white label over to SEMrush, because we also use SEMrush for all of our research and all of our initial website audits and all that. I pay SEMrush a lot every month just for that account. And they do have a listing integration now, and they do have a pretty good reporting software suite that's really matured over the last 2 years or so. Costs, expenses for me, we may be moving off of Vendasta for that. I don't know yet. If I'm not making that move or that decision lightly, it's already been over a month since we started talking about it, and we're looking into it, looking at both costs and efficiencies, and then value add. So if it can add more value to our clients, but it creates a little bit more inefficiency, okay, I'm all about adding more value first. If we can add more value and create more efficiency and save money, then it's a win, and it's probably worth implementing into our agency technology stack. These are the kind of things I'm evaluating as we look at, are we going to move from our current reporting suite and some of the tool that we currently have for some of those things into and converge all that into SEMrush, which is something else that we use. So in this case, I might be able to actually condense our technology stack a little bit more and save money at the same time and add more value to our clients all at the same time, which is what I'm looking for, is that win. But that's the major technology components that we've had in our agency that really run our agency. We could not run without High Level, Teamwork, Vendasta, and Signal Genesis. Without those 4 pieces of technology, our agency would be nighty-night. And again, like I said, going back to 2015, 2016, those 4 pieces of software were like 21 pieces of software. And way more expensive. I was paying way more money back then for 21 than I am for 4 today. So that's the benefit of really condensing your technology stack and really trying to integrate as much as you can, as it will create more efficiencies in your agency. It'll make things a lot easier just from an implementation, execution, and operational standpoint. in your agency versus having a lot of different pieces of software that are all doing different one-offs here, one-off thing here. They're not talking to each other. And then obviously hiring and training any staff, marketing, sales and marketing staff, operational fulfillment staff, if the more pieces of software you have, the more confusing it is and the more inefficient hiring and training is. So there's a lot of advantages to having a efficient, condensed technology stack because it can easily get bloated. You don't want your marketing technology stack to become bloated because it'll cost you more. And there's a lot of things that it's chaos just ensues over time, especially as you grow. If you grow quickly and you have a bloated technology stack, you'll just have chaos trying to manage all of it. And that's what happened to us. And that's what forced me into this whole idea of I got to condense all this and get rid of so much of this because it's preventing us from scaling further. And it's creating a lot of chaos in my life. And therefore, it was harder for me to hand off hiring and training and all that. This will directly affect your life as an agency owner, directly. It'll directly affect your bottom line. It'll directly affect your time, and it'll affect your quality of life, depending on whether you have this dialed in or whether it's a big mess. For me, I'm just going to share my 10 years or so journey and how it really helped us. I have a really sweet system running right now. I did check out of my business largely for over 3 months this last year in 2023 for a move, family purposes, things like that. I was gone and traveling. So I was gone for almost 3 months in my business, and the systems and the people running the systems operated extremely smoothly and efficiently, allowing me to really 90% check out of my business and let it keep running and actually grow still. I don't recommend doing that as a business owner unless you want to or need to, because obviously being involved in your business is really important. And obviously the more involved I am in my business, the more it keeps growing. But I was able to do that because I had a technology stack and systems with it using that technology. And that's the other piece of this puzzle that we'll talk about next month, is not only having the technology stack in place, but then having systems in place, workflows, processes, and documentation on those work processes and workflows for your team members so that you can actually start to check out of your business. Because if you are the only one pulling all the strings here, you're never going to be able to take a month off and let your business keep running on its own if you're the only one running all the systems. And I had to build the systems myself, working with my team members, especially my team leads. I then actually, because I hate doing it. Now you could either do it yourself or hire it out. I just hired a full-time HR manager who is solely responsible for documenting all of our processes, all of our workflows, so that I don't have to do it, and that we actually have all that documentation so that it can be done. It can be put together in an orderly manner so that hiring, training, and onboarding new employees into our systems and our technology stack, it actually runs smoothly. Today, we've actually hired 2 new people. I've never met these new people on our team. We have a new account manager, we have a new writer, and actually a new SEO tech. So we've got 3 new team members I've never met. They were interviewed by multiple team members through SOPs. Those SOPs are documented in our teamwork project management account because we have an onboarding and training project that we can quickly duplicate for new team members. Then they have their tasks assigned to go and start their onboarding and their training. And those tasks are in our project management system. And once you have these things built out, it creates great freedom from your business, which gives you an amazing quality of life to do the things that you love to do. The technology stack is a critical component to running, operating, and scaling a successful digital marketing agency. We're going to spend the next masterclass going into some details. I'll show you, like I said, I'll go live into our technology stack, show you some pieces of it, take on more questions. And what I'd love for all of you to do who either watched the replay or who are here today is, if you have questions about the technology stack or questions about your technology stack that you'd like to bring, send them to me ahead of time or bring them to the masterclass in November. We'll dig into it a little bit more. I want to reserve the last 15 minutes for any final questions that we might have around what we covered today, talked about today. Richard, I will drop the link here to our GHL affiliate link. But is there anybody that has Any questions before we drop off today here? Here is the GHL link. If you use the high level link, our high level affiliate link to sign up for a high level account, in the case that you don't, I will personally allow you to book 2 times with me, and we'll dig in and we'll get your account set up. I'll share with you how we use ours. I can share the snapshots that we have, and really get you go. I'll probably save you a couple months of work. So that's a real advantage to using our affiliate link for high level, the snapshots that we have, plus my personal time, just helping you get and you got A2P now, which is a big issue. I can show you how to navigate A2P quickly and unveil some other resources that you have as a high level user if you really start to use it, which you should. We use it every single day. I booked over 500 prospecting appointments last year using our high level account just for our own agency. So these are prospecting appointments that helped us grow our agency, and it was all done through our high level account with a booking page. I'll just quick show you. I have a couple different booking pages depending on the use case. So I have my personal booking page. If I don't know the agency and what they want yet or what they might need. Do they want Signal Genesis? Are they looking for white label fulfillment through Quantum Agency? Is it somebody personal? I have my personal, booking page. Then I have a Quantum Agency. These are all being run on high level booking pages. And then I have our Signal Genesis booking page. All 3 of these booking pages are being run off our high level account. Again, that replaced Calendly and vCita. That was the other CRM that we were using for booking and some other unique things that it had. And if I don't see any other questions here, I'm going to leave you all with this. There's another thing that I've learned through the years. When it comes to the marketing technology stack, I'd probably say this is actually one of the most important things I've learned. I'm a technology geek. I like technology. I've always been like it. I'm being 52 years old. I'm on the front. I'm one of those leading from my generation. A lot of people in my generation don't know technology. They just don't do it. It wasn't their thing because I was one of the first ones to have a cell phone. Just technology really blossomed and exploded in my lifetime. And so I like it. I'm a geek. I nerd out about different stuff. I like software. I like different things. And that is a real enemy to a lean, mean technology stack. Meaning, if you are a feature hound and you're looking for and you love these different features and these different things that marketing software can do, that can be a real enemy to building an efficient technology stack. And so what I had to learn to do was to sacrifice some features that I liked but weren't needed in every area of our software technology stack that we needed in order to consolidate and get more efficient. And I'll give you some examples. Vendasta, their reputation management software and their social media management software are really good. They're not great. They're not they don't have every feature that some of the social media marketing software platforms have, or some of the reputation management software components have, but they have the essential components in each of those areas that are totally awesome for essential. They don't have every little feature that I'd like, but I don't need those. And so for efficiency's sake, I got rid of some other software in the past that had more bells and whistles, but weren't needed bells and whistles. And for the sake of consolidating and getting rid of 3 different pieces of software and replacing it with one, or them with one. And so that's a really important principle when it comes to the decision making in your marketing technology stack is, are you willing to sacrifice some features and some functions, some bells and whistles, if you will, in order to be able to consolidate your technology stack into less and less components or different software vendors or providers? I will drop my contact info here. Appreciate that, John. Hope this has helped you guys in terms of just giving you a framework, number one, for evaluating this, because I think, and I would say, not only I think I know too many agency owners don't even approach this strategically. This is a huge area of your agency, and it's one that you can't just approach on the fly by happenstance as we go. Let's just see and just keep, because what happened is you'll wake up like me one day and you'll have 20 or 30 different pieces of software that are all doing something in your agency, and it's going to be chaos. And you're going to be like, this sucks. I don't like this. I need to consolidate. And so hopefully I can save you 5, 6, 7 years of pain and suffering and finding that out later by just listening to me and saying, hey, that will happen to you if you don't approach this area of your agency strategically and think through this at a deeper level because of the impact it will have on your life, notwithstanding your company, your agency, and then obviously your clients and the experience that your clients have with your company, your agency. John, actually, if you want to email me, my direct email is right here. Or you can book with me on any one of my booking pages that I dropped in the links here as well. If you feel free to reach out to me via email or just book a session with me, happy to meet if there's anything that you'd like to talk about directly. So we'll continue this conversation and this masterclass in November. So it'll be part 2. I'm going to actually go live, show you a couple pieces of our software technology stack, and then I'll probably provoke some questions from you all as we get into some of the actual nitty-gritty components of the technology stack that we use in our white label agency. We do use pieces of this. We do use Teamwork in Signal Genesis as well. We have developed through their API. So our entire support system in our software in Signal Genesis is run off of Teamwork Desk. You wouldn't know that because we have it completely integrated into the software, and you don't ever go into Teamwork ever. And so we've done all that through their API. And that's another really powerful component of Teamwork, is that you can actually develop into their API if you get sophisticated enough in your agency where you want to do something more custom. But yeah, next month we'll finish this topic out. And if you have questions that you think about between now and then, I'd love to get them in advance. That may help me prepare a little bit for the content for next month. Today, I wanted to just focus on the conversation, frame it out. I know a lot of people will probably watch the replay here. So if you're watching the replay, send me your questions and then be prepared for the November Masterclass last Tuesday of November. It'll be after Thanksgiving. Let me just make sure here. I believe that's the week after Thanksgiving. Last Tuesday. Yeah, that's the week after Thanksgiving. So that is Tuesday the 28th. That'll be our November Masterclass, part 2 of the agency technology stack and how critical it is for both short-term and long-term success. I think also essential for the sanity of the agency owner and the quality of life of the agency owner, because if you get this right, it'll really make your agency sing in terms of efficiencies and your ability to build processes and systems that really run without you, so that you can either go on and do something else you love, travel, do whatever things you like, or sometimes other people just like to start another business, which is also a great use of time. If you're just a serial entrepreneur like me, I take my hobbies and sometimes make hobbies into secondary businesses. And so you can't do any of that, though, if your primary business, your primary focus is a mess or it's chaotic, and your technology stack as a digital marketing agency is essential for long-term success. And I'll even say both your short-term success as well. All right. Yeah. Awesome, Richard. Get over the fear of being left out of all the bells and whistles and keep it simple. Yeah. I'll leave you with this: simple scales, fancy fails. Simple scales, fancy fails. And that is especially true in a digital marketing agency because it's already so complex. There are so many moving parts to a digital marketing agency that if you don't keep it simple, you will have absolute chaos in your agency, and that does not yield a great quality of life. All right, awesome. Everyone, thank you so much for coming today. Really appreciate the questions and the back and forth, and I hope to see you in the November Masterclass Part 2 of the Agency Technology Stack presented by the Marketing Center of Excellence. Everyone have a great day and have a great rest of your week. Take care.